Now, this woman that you see right here, affectionately known as the nose job lady, went and saved $11,000 over a period of 10 years for a nose job. And when I actually went and did further investigation, because I said to myself, I don't want to actually just go ahead and repeat and review and analyze the same thing that people have already been going over. So when I went to actually do my investigation, I noticed a little bit more of the story that people didn't necessarily get into. And that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. What's going on, people? This is your boy Say One's History. You are watching The Male's Perspective. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be updated with all new content as soon as it comes out. Now, your boy's going to let you in on a little bit of information about himself. Now, what is that? Well, that is some of the pet peeves that I have. And that's actually going to be pertaining to this lady that you see right on the side of me. And one of those pet peeves are people that hide behind the truth. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that there is a legitimate fact, but there is context behind that fact that would deem or make their logic, reasoning, or example invalid. That's what we're actually going to be talking about today. And we're going to get into it because a lot of people have actually been reporting on this young lady right here. And I think they actually got it a little wrong when it actually comes to how everything went down. And the reason your boy knows this is because he took a little bit of time, actually went into her TikTok account all the way back in the beginning, and found some information that people may not have been privy to before they actually start analyzing and reviewing her content. But with that being said, let's get into it. And of course, I want you to let me know what you think about this. Let's go. Now, this woman that you see right here, affectionately known as the nose job lady, went and saved $11,000 over a period of 10 years for a nose job. Now, it's documented in her experience on social media becoming a go-to voice for those curious about cosmetic procedures. Now, why is this a big deal? I mean, you're asking, there are a lot of people that actually go and get work done on their bodies. We see it all the time with BBLs, nose jobs such as this one. People actually do augmentation to their face just overall. What's the big deal? Well, I'm going to tell you. The big deal is that a lot of people have actually been reporting saying that, well, right after she actually got her nose job, she went and divorced her husband. Now, this is horrible, especially in communities such as this one, because we always say you need to vet a woman carefully. This man actually married this woman and all her imperfections, and he went and a lot of men would actually look at this as doing her a solid. Now, he went and actually married this woman as she was with all her flaws. And when I actually went and did further investigation, because I said to myself, I don't want to actually just go ahead and repeat and review and analyze the same thing that people have already been going over. So when I went to actually do my investigation, I noticed a little bit more of the story that people didn't necessarily get into. And that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. Now, what did the other YouTubers miss about this lady's story that I actually caught? Well, I was going back and forth on how I was going to relay this information to you, and then I just came to the conclusion that I was going to let her speak for herself. Now, if you actually take her word for it, she actually says that she was actually going to divorce her husband long before the nose job was even a thought. And when she gives her story, you guys, I honestly have to believe her. But that does not mean that she is right in this scenario. And I'm going to let her talk, and then I will give my opinion at the end, and you can see exactly what I mean. Let's get into it.
Do my skincare with me while I talk about an article that came out on the New York Post about my life. So basically, I did an interview with the New York Post regarding my nose job and my divorce, and they completely reworded what I said about my surgery and my divorce. So I'm here to just clear the air and set some stuff straight, because
let's
I
clear
do
the air.
not like to be misinterpreted, and I just feel like they literally twisted my words completely, and it was just not nice. I got a nose
And I
job in
totally
November.
agree, you guys. I don't want to misconstrue her words. So let's give her the opportunity and let her continue.
2024, 4 months post-op. My nose job has literally changed my life in every aspect. I am so grateful, so thankful. I love my results. Like, I could not be happier.
I would imagine it helps with
And
confidence. That's great.
I documented my whole nose job journey on social media, and I get
Okay.
tons of negative comments, tons of positive comments, and I am okay with both because I put myself out there. I knew what.
Now, I know you guys hate when I do the pausing, but I have to say this. She kind of skimmed over why she said she got a lot of love and then she got a lot of hate. I doubt that she actually got a lot of hate in regards to her getting the nose job. I'm pretty sure it was more so in regards to people believing that she actually divorced her husband after she got the nose job. But she conveniently left that part out. But again, this is one of the pieces I'm talking about when I say people hiding behind the truth. But let's go.
Come with social media, and I can handle it. I'm a big girl. So I recently opened up about a divorce with my husband. I was with him for 7 years.
Okay.
We made the decision to split. I know that might not be a surprise to some people that know me in real life, but I finally did confirm it because I didn't think it was fair.
Now, I'm glad she said that, and I'm going to give her credit where credit is due, because a lot of women, if you hear them talk about situations like this, where they either have a breakup or it's a divorce, they always say, oh, it was mutual. But men know in this space that divorces and breakups are never mutual. There is always someone who is pushing the envelope a little bit more than the other person to actually go ahead in the relationship or in the marriage. We know that just to be fact. Women, they live in their emotions, and men, we think a little bit more logical. And when we come to a logical decision or a logical explanation, we can clearly see that it was one more than the other. But let's let her continue.
That I needed to like hide this and keep this part of my life a secret. I am not going to bad talk him, but this article basically is bashing me and saying that I got a nose job and then I left my husband. And that was not the series of.
You're not going to bad talk him. I mean, is there really anything to bad talk him about? I'm asking. I don't know. Is there really anything to bad talk your ex-husband about? I don't know.
Events that happened, and I just really want to set that record straight.
Okay.
We've been separated for years. We were living separate. I
Okay.
got my nose job, and basically we sold our marital home, nose job, and think, oh, I'm so hot, I'm gonna finally divorce him. I got a nose job. I was turning 30, and I just was home recovering on the couch in my bed and realized I need to finally move on with this part of my life. Like, I don't know why we're remaining married when.
Okay. There's so much that was said that we need to unpack here. And I may need to go back over it because there was so much information that I actually want to speak in regards to. And now, she actually said that they were living in separate homes and they were essentially already broken up, right? Okay. Now, this is what I'm talking about when I say people hiding behind the truth. Because, yes, it's probably the truth that they were already broken up, I'm sure. They were already separated, living in separate homes, which would make her statement about the nose job actually not being the main focal point of why she left, but it exacerbated the situation. It could have been literally the tipping point of her deciding to continue the divorce. What did she say a little bit after the fact? She said she was literally in her bed recovering, and she came to the conclusion that she wanted to end her marriage. Now, while it is true that they were already going through a divorce, her getting her nose job gave her the push that she needed to feel confident about herself, to not work on the marriage, to basically call it quits, to wipe her hands clean of something that no longer served her. Now, there's even more to unpack in regards to this, because what do we say in this space about women that are in late 20s, early 30s, who actually get this itch where they want to return to the streets? Now, I wanted to do the investigation, like I said, and I did. And what I did is I wanted to go back in her TikTok page, and I wanted to see who this woman was before all this stuff came about of her getting her nose job. And I gotta say, men in this space, we always talk about women needing to choose better. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. But in this case, I think there were a lot of red flags that this man could have identified over these 7 years. And hey, we all fall short. We all get in love and fall in love with the beauty, and sometimes we actually don't pay attention to all of the red flags that are sitting right there in front of myself, me included. But when you are this late in the game, if you are in your mid 30s, early 40s, you should really be able to catch on to these signs. Okay? And me actually just going through her TikTok and seeing these red flags as they were, it was just kind of obvious to me. But hey, I want to see if you guys can actually see what I saw. I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to play a few videos and you tell me what you think about these videos. Let's get into it.
Hi, guess what? I am 94 days sober today. On July 17th, I made the decision to completely stop drinking alcohol. It has honestly been the best decision I've made thus far. I had an extremely unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Obviously, I wasn't an alcoholic the way that you'd think an alcoholic is one, but I had an issue every time I drank. I couldn't stop drinking. Like, there was no happy medium for me. So, ultimately, making the decision to completely stop drinking has transformed a lot. I don't wake up with anxiety. I don't black out. I don't puke my brains out because I can't handle taking 9 shots of tequila because I think it's a good idea. I just feel so much happier. I'm in a better space, overall healthier, and I am so happy to continue being sober.
Okay, and good for her that she actually took the necessary steps to improve her life, the longevity of her life, I'm sure, and just her overall mental health. This is something to be proud about, and I commend her for this, absolutely. But if we're looking at this from a relationship perspective, would this be a red flag for you guys? Would this be a red flag for most men? Because for me, if I'm looking to commit and potentially marry a woman, this right here would be a red flag for me. Now, she did say that she wouldn't get blackout drunk and she would get to a state, where she would actually, pass out. But she also did say that she had an unhealthy relationship and she didn't know when to stop when she actually started drinking. Now, I don't think that's, too far gone, and I don't think it's the very beginning stages of alcoholism. I think she's somewhere in the middle. And to me, this would definitely be something that I would not consider wifing up. Now, would I maybe, make this a little fling? Maybe. Would I potentially, keep this around, just to do my thing from time to time? That's a possibility too. But serious relationships, potential marriage, no way. But hey, we got more to review, so let's go. Now, a lot of people will actually see these videos that I'm actually putting up and they'll go, no, you know what? The way you're actually reviewing these videos is making her look bad. But you guys, I didn't line these up in any particular way. This was on her TikTok page. She's literally posting up, let me go back a little bit. She's posting up, girl, leave him so you can become her. Girl, leave him so you can become her. Men talk about changing in relationships all the time. Actually, when we get married to our significant other, that's the one thing that men actually stress about. We're going to go through changes. I'm going to go through changes. You're going to go through changes. I'm going to be, I'm not going to be happy all the time. We're not going to be a happy couple all the time. But I've chosen you, and hopefully you've chosen me, to go through these transformations together. Literally becoming one person, being equally yoked, being confined within the covenant of Christ. But I don't know if she is religious. I don't know what her faith is. But if you are getting married, yes, there is a contract, but the contract can always be broken. The covenant between you and this woman and Christ is essentially what cannot be broken. And I think this is why I think it's more important for you to have a relationship with God when you get married. And a lot of men, if women are watching this, a lot of men look for those qualities within women. And women that don't get the nod of actually, being a woman that would get a man to seriously commit to them, or being a woman that would get a man to marry her, they get mad and wonder what's wrong with them. Well, ladies, this is what it is. When men see that women can't sit down, when men see that if things change, because things will inevitably change, if men see that when things change, your feelings and your commitment and your covenant between me, you, and God will change as well. That is one of the main things that will disqualify you in a man's mind of him marrying you. Men are not stupid. We see this. And if you're telling a man on your social, and I have to think this man was sitting back and he watched this particular video and this could have been when they were divorced already, or this could have been after they got divorced, but I'm pretty sure he looked at this at some point and he read, "Girl, leave him so you can become who, or you can become her." I loved you with all your flaws, your big nose, your your sexual market value place of, being average. I loved you through all that. And you're telling me that we can't be together because you're not her with me? I don't know. That just sounds off to me. We got a few more videos. I know I'm actually speaking in regards to this a lot, but I want to show you some more. So hold on, because it's going to get real juicy. I know it's been juicy so far, but it's going to get even more juicy. So check this next video out, y'all, because it's crazy. You guys, she is just telling on herself. She's just telling on herself. I'm not going to harp on this one because we got a few more videos I want to review. Let's get on to the next one.
Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You ain't gonna tell me shit. Listen. Suck my Shut up. Listen to me. Suck my you man.
Pink world. Tuesdays we wear pink. Cheers. Hopefully will be a good day. The warm weather just makes me feel happy. This makes me feel happy. Bye.
Okay, I'm not going to harp on this too much, and I don't want to be insensitive to people who are going through mental issues, mental disorders, anxiety, stress. Hell, I've even had my episodes and anxiety and whatnot and things. So that's not where I'm trying to go with this. But what I am saying is that you have admittedly an alcohol issue. You are taking antidepressant pills for it, okay? And you definitely have some issues with your own self-worth and your view of yourself. So let's go, because we got a few others that we need to review. Let's keep going. Let's not stop there. Now, I had to turn off the sound for copyright issues, but it actually goes on to say the immaculate vibes, getting ready before dinner after you spent all day on the beach. Now, the music that was playing in the background was actually referring to Turks and Caicos. So I would imagine she's outside of the country at Turks and Caicos. Okay. Now, this is another red flag for me because this is before she got her nose job. This is when she was in the process of still being in her relationship with her now ex-husband. And she's going on girls trips with her friends. And if you don't think this is a girl trip and you think I'm just making this up, let me show you. Let me show you.
Lord, please make sure that Lisa don't get an STD and that nobody has kidney failure, because we finna get messed up, and let me get pregnant by somebody rich. That's all I ask. Amen.
Okay. So out with the girls. Clubbing, doing whatever she wants to do. Again, this is before her nose job. Okay. Now, I turned off the sound again because I didn't want any copyright restrictions, but I'm going to zoom in on her shirt so you can actually see what it says here. And it says, I support women's rights and wrongs. Okay, so now we're getting into the feminist thing. This is another red flag for me. This is just another one. Okay, I don't have any issue with women's rights whatsoever. I'm actually a firm believer in women actually having equal rights. But I know this is supposed to be a shirt that's cute and witty, but there's always some truth to the statements that people are trying to make and that are trying to tell you. So let's get into it. We got some more. She's the gift that just keeps on giving. Let's keep going.
I need water. Help me. I need water. Help.
Me after 3 a.m. after drinking dirty martinis all night. More medication, you guys. I had to pause the sound on this one, but it says, still spending $6 on iced tea every day, even though I owe Chase Bank $5,000. So not only is she an admitted alcoholic, she has anxiety or a mental disorder. She has self-worth issues. Okay, she's an overspender. These are all red flags. These are all red flags. Men, would you have wifed this up? Because we're not talking about dating. This man wifed her up. Now, I'm not trying to blame him. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that if you had to guess, after she got her nose job, about what her next move would be, what would be your conclusion? Let's think about it like this. She gets a nose job. Is she going to go left or is she going to go right? Is she going to stay committed to you knowing what you know now about her? Or is she going to leave you knowing what you know now about her? All evidence, for me at least, points to her leaving you. Now, this is just my opinion. Now, for me, I want a nice, pretty, wholesome woman. Grew up with some maybe old traditions. Values me, values our marriage, values our relationship. Someone is going to put into me as much as I'm willing to put into that person. And this just doesn't sound anything like what we're watching. So, do I believe her when she actually said, getting a nose job wasn't the reason she got a divorce? Yes, absolutely, I believe her. I believe that it wasn't the main reason. But I absolutely do believe that it exacerbated it and that it was the proverbial icing and cherry on top of the cake. With that being said, you guys, please let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this video or not. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be updated for all cool new content. I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to get a few more out today. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a good day. Salute. Peace. I really appreciate you guys for watching the video all the way through. But if you can do me a little itty bitty favor and hit that subscribe button, it would really help if you hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. So thank you in advance. Appreciate it.